Yo, welcome to Wednesday. Coming in hot. We have just been head down so much before the show, so we're all fired up talking about generous Ford, hybrid pickups, the Automotive Congress, and Goodwill meets Ecomm. Yes, we mean Goodwill, the thrift store. Yes. Not just the general term of Goodwill.
Goodwill, right, yes.
I'm like double checking. Kyle, I have something to announce on the podcast that I didn't clear with you.
Uh-oh.
But there is this little thing right here that I'm holding.
Oh, snap, he's got it.
It is the official ASOTU CON 2023.
Oh, my goodness, look at that thing.
Soccer scarf,
so
thanks to our friends at Foundation. Look at Foundation Direct's logo on that scarf. And then we got this thing. It's hard to show it. And then you flip it, and it says, hold on, I got to do the little pan.
Got to go way out. Little collaboration critical. Yo.
How you like
that? It. All the shapes and everything on that. It's very
so much fun.
Like it's very like soccer.
And the quality of this thing. I'm wearing this thing all winter long. So now we got the scarf and we got the custom shoelaces that you're going to get. Again, this is no like little squishy ball swag bag that you're going to get when you come to ASOTU CON. You are going to be fully drippy.
Come for the swag, stay for the speakers. You know what I mean? Come for the swag, stay for the speakers.
It's been awesome to watch the last few days. Tickets starting to roll in even more from dealers all across the country. We just had so many conversations yesterday with the Maryland Auto Dealer Association. Some dealers that you would recognize if we mentioned their name, booking tickets and rooms because this is automotive. You can book them 2 weeks out. No big deal.
Right.
So please, if you haven't gotten your tickets, we want to have you there. The momentum is building quickly. You can scan the QR code on your screen or go to ASOTUCON.com and you can look through the agenda, the detailed agenda by stage. Look at the speakers. If you go through the agenda and sessions by stage, I think your mind's going to be blown at the level of expertise we have in the panels. And you can read some session descriptions went up.
Yesterday, we had a bunch of emails out to all of our speakers, and I was on a few of the threads. Look, there's going to be some ridiculousness on some of these stages.
They are fired up.
These people are fired up, so it's great.
What else? We have, well, speaking of fired up, actually, we have a webinar coming up today with our friends at Connexion, Approving Your CSI with better visibility on your fleet and your shuttle. We're going to talk about how to make the shuttle, whether that's Uber or Lyft and those integrations, or your drivers, improve the customer experience. It's always one of those parts that kind of gets bolted on, but in reality, it's a massive part of the customer experience if someone's transporting from like really interrupting their regular day and their regular schedule.
I'm telling you what, I need to get a tire done on my car right now. And like within a 3-mile radius from me, it just doesn't exist that transportation options are super clean and easy.
Yep.
And so like everybody pay attention to this one because your boy needs help across the country. Okay?
I think a lot of people can mirror that sentiment. So just go to ASOTU.com, scroll down just a little bit, and you can just register for that webinar. If you can't be there, register anyway so you can get the recording and see what's going on. We got our friend Bob Rich in the comments saying, what, no black flat brims and fake beards? We won't have the fake beards, but we will have a large supply of black flat brims. We're going to have a killer swag shop this year too. Just want to put that out there. Also want to say hi to our people. Adrian Wall Gibbs, good morning. Good to see you on the live stream. What else do we have to talk about before we get? There's so many things. Actually, it's our producer saying, actually, we might have fake beards. We didn't know about that.
There may or may not be something that I got wind of yesterday.
It's getting a little scary. With some of the ladies.
Our team just has a thing about
I don't need to see Liza Borges putting on a fake beard. I don't think. No, it's not gonna do it. Kyle and I are on our way to Atlanta this Saturday night at 8 p.m. live in Beaver Toyota in Cumming, Georgia. There is an LED screen being assembled so we can premiere episode 2 of More Than Cars. It's just going to be, you can only see it if you're in the building. It's not been released yet, but you can be in the building if you're close by to Atlanta. I bet if you swing by around 7:30,
you're in Atlanta,
8 o'clock.
Come on. Hit us with a DM. We'll make sure you get in.
Tell them your boys sent you. 8 p.m. Beaver Toyota, Cumming, Georgia. All right. What else? Is that it? Do we have news now?
I think so.
I think we're doing news.
We should have like we should have made a button for this whole series.
Oh, yeah.
UAW update.
Dude, we totally need to do that. We are late to the game because of the strike deadline. I mean, hopefully it ends soon. But obviously the looming strike deadline is tomorrow. So now here we are a day before, and when you asked yesterday about the strike, Ford CEO Jim Farley described the latest contract proposal that they gave UAW as, quote, the most generous offer in 80 years. However, the UAW still might strike on specific plants if no deal is reached with Detroit's Big Three. So these are some quotes from Farley. I thought he positioned this really well. He said a 4-day work week, and he's referencing one of the initial demands from the UAW saying we want a 4-day work week. He says a 4-day work week is not containable. We're literally fighting for the future of automotive manufacturing in our country, but we're optimistic we'll find a way forward. We have 48 hours to go, but we're not going to support a 4-day work week. Sounds like a line in the sand.
Yeah.
And I think it's reasonable.
Which that's extremely reasonable to me, but it seems like the UAW is like, that's a big sticking point. Like the place where they were negotiating was on the number of bonuses. It's weird that that seems like a sticking point.
I think that's going to go away. I think that's one of the things that, you know, one man's opinion, that they put out to be like one of the most drastic asks and say, let's back off the 4-day work week. And it'll seem like we're giving away a big thing when we negotiate that away. We'll see what happens. Who knows what Sean Fain's thinking? I don't know. Farley also continued, I'm still optimistic we'll get a deal, but there's a limit because we have to protect the future and future investments and the profitability of the company that funds those. So it sounds like, you know, their commercials over the weekend, All In on America, and
manufacturing,
global market, right? Global competition isn't won in a 4-day work week. It just
full on heating up, right?
If you feel like 4-day work weeks, I mean, Finland is a nice place. It is. It's really nice.
You dropped that.
But you know what? It's really, strangely enough, you look at those places, it's very, very hard to go there if you're an American.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not just like, everybody come in and work 4 days. They're like, we got our little thing here.
We got a thing going. We're good.
It's pleasant. We're nice. Week. Windmills, EVs. Let's go. Well, speaking of Ford, what are we doing today?
Segway
time. What in the world is going on? So speaking of Ford, they believe that the F-150 could soon rank as the top-selling hybrid model of any manufacturer, according to Kumar Galorda, president of Ford Blue. Ford is set to release an updated 2024 F-150, including a new hybrid variant, and it's about time, aiming to quadruple hybrid sales in the next 2 years with the F-150 and Maverick kind of combined. Currently, only 10% of Ford F-150s have a hybrid powertrain. And they sold an estimated 25 to 35,000 hybrids in the first half of this year, while Toyota, obviously the front runner, sold about double that at 57,000. They're also
just the RAV4.
Just the RAV4.
Right.
So they're just talking
basically
model.
All of Toyotas
overall
are hybrids.
Absolutely. You start adding Sequoias and you have more blah, blah, blah. Everything's a hybrid. Ford is decreasing the number of configurations for the F-150. Get this. We've been talking about this, you and I, for a long time. The complexity and the confusion that ensues. If you ever try to buy a Ford, I'm like, it's this model. They have like 8 trim models. Like, that's the Highland. That's the
and then everything is super configurable. This is where they're going from over 1 billion possible combinations.
Stop there. 1 billion possible,
which is not like the fact that you can build over 1 billion different F-150. Now I get like that. That's just ridiculous.
That's a lot.
But they're going to go from that to somehow going down to just a few hundred combinations, which is still mind-boggling, right?
Yeah, no, a few hundred. If you think about a few hundred, it's like from 1 billion. I mean, first of all, it's like probably a 90-something% decrease. And but I think it's a great move for profitability for all the things, because customer experience, et cetera.
And this is where like the meme comes in, and all new car directors rejoiced, right? Like, a bunch of new car directors rejoicing in the back, like ordering is going to be so much easier.
And so this was an interesting and revealing statement for why they had so many to begin with. This quote from Galorda, the president of Ford Blue, says, there was always an internal tension with the marketing team who wanted to have the opportunity to provide the customer exactly what they want. You're a marketer. You're like, yeah, we want to give them exactly what they want. But he also noted that a build-to-order retail model that was popularized by the coronavirus pandemic changed minds. It changed the way people thought. Now, he says, if a customer wants something specific, I mean, you can tell he's not a marketer. they can wait for it.
Well, so I got questions on that one because like you pin this on the marketers, but really great marketers know that you want to target a customer segment and you want to be able to deliver on promises and not just like, open up the floodgates for everyone and everywhere. So it's like he said, she said, that it's their fault, it's our fault, that type of thing. Let's just settle the score that less trim models and less options are going to make it easier on everybody, OEM, dealer, and consumer. Kudos, thumbs up, bing, right? Give him the little
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Okay, speaking of cars. Stop. That's dumb. All right, so the Automotive Congress is going on right now in Detroit. So there's a lot of coverage on this. We're going to cover one conversation they had. They have a lot of panels. Looks very important. I don't think we were invited, but we probably could have gone. Maybe next year.
We probably could have gone. We definitely could have gone.
Yeah, I know it. As U.S. legislators are pushing for an accelerated transition to EVs, dealers have been left to bridge consumers' knowledge gaps. According to panelists at the 2023 Automotive News Congress Retail Future Panel, our very own Damon Lester, you know who he is, and other dealers highlighted key barriers to EV adoption, including range anxiety, affordability, and the challenges of home charging. So Damon Lester, owner of Lester Automotive Group and Nissan of Bowie, emphasized the importance of charging infrastructure, saying that everyday use of an EV isn't feasible without the right charging infrastructure. He remarked, "We urge consumers to ask those types of questions to their legislators, obviously, because many are not looking at EV ownership." He challenges. Wait, I'm trying to make sense of this quote.
Yeah, so like he's saying, hey, customers, you need to be looking at the type of question of like, hey, should I buy an EV, but is the charging infrastructure there for me to buy an EV? Like, not just am I interested, but am I interested in it, and is it feasible? It's wild that like he's considering that, which obviously his work with NAMAD sees across the country and understands a broader scale. But even in DC, where there's probably DC and Maryland and that whole like corridor between Baltimore and DC, like even in probably one of the most saturated places for charging infrastructure, that question is still getting asked, and customers are still having to ask those questions on whether or not it's yet feasible for them to get into an EV.
He told us a great story, a firsthand story of bringing an Aria from his store in south of Baltimore to Philly, and it was kind of a nightmare,
right?
Yeah. Because of the charging infrastructure. He said also propose an expansion of incentives because of the competitive disadvantage that traditional OEMs have to companies like Tesla, who can move prices so quickly. He says we're urging some legislators to put a moratorium on the income-based formula for incentives to make it open again for a certain period of time so everyone's able to get them, because there is current income thresholds. It says it's putting us at a competitive disadvantage against companies like Tesla, who can just on a dime change their prices. One person that actually we're being introduced to, Diane Mayer, COO of Fox Motors in Michigan. Really interesting group. She's the COO, not of the motor group only, but also of a bunch of other retail, luxury, entertainment holdings that this company has. So we really want to talk to her. She emphasized that her dealers have been on the front lines of the EV transition, often feeling as if they're playing catch up when consumers are seeking guidance on like EV preparation, home charging, just saying they don't know what to do. And it's been on us to educate them. Obviously, a lot of dealers are taking that as an opportunity to branch into home charging, and companies like we've heard about, like Treehouse with Steve Greenfield, helping bridge that gap. But Kyle, this conversation is like just starting to unpack all these complexities.
Well, it's weird because like for the last 3 years, it's just been like all in on EVs, and now everybody's taking a step back, and at least in automotive, we're going, okay, what are the questions that need to be asked? What are the things that we need to be doing as dealers? Not just education, but business verticals that we need to be entering to be able to serve customers in all their mobility needs, not just can they purchase a vehicle, but can they actually own this vehicle? And then can we support that ownership journey? That's right. I would challenge any dealer, especially dealer group, to be looking at being in the vertical of charging infrastructure in their cities, because I think that is going to be like a massive revenue stream and a service to provide to customers, both home charging networks and community charging networks. So absolutely, that's a vertical that I would stay in because it's right there in line with mobility.
Speaking of I was going to say mobility.
Inline verticals.
Okay. I'll take that one.
Segway
game. We had a real strong day yesterday.
We were so strong Monday, Tuesday that, it's like Wednesday, hump day. We'll get there. Thrift store shopping has never been more popular. If you don't know that, come down to Nashville. I'll show you downtown. You'll just see thrift store shopping everywhere. And it's starting to feel more native to younger generations as GoodwillFinds.com, the online platform launched by Goodwill last year, has expanded its reach to over 500 stores with the addition of 4 new regional members. Okay, so many Goodwill regions had previously been selling on other external platforms like eBay, but Goodwill Finds is offering a direct relationship with online customers and enhanced analytics. So the growth of the platform, the online retail platform for Goodwill, is really, really driven by customers searching for these super unique items, hard to find, a lot of antiques or sustainable choices, so they're not purchasing new items. And younger consumers, which are already familiar with things like ThredUp and other thrift shopping where consignment or resale is really popular, view this as a secondhand opportunity to go, hey, there's a treasure. There's something no one else has. This is something that someone else gave away, but I see value in. I'm thinking like everybody's just been watching Gary Vee and they're like, hey, there's some good
trash
stuff
talk.
out there. Yeah.
No,
exactly.
It's funny that didn't come up, but the rising popularity and even like think about the hustle, the flip game.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't mention that, but the flip game for sure is because I mean, Goodwill will probably get savvier at this and have some people like figuring out like how to
the good stuff in here,
how to properly market price things.
Yep.
But not always, and they're not always going to know what they have. And I mean, this makes a lot of sense. This is one of the situations where they just are like a couple people away from really taking off. Someone who has experience in Ecomm. I mean, even though they're talking about like this gives them leverage to negotiate shipping rates with UPS and FedEx, right? Obviously, you look at the Amazons and the big shippers, massive discounts on shipping, allowing customers to buy more stuff easier. I think this is just a fantastic story. I mean, as you would expect, right? It's a non-for-profit trying to just do the good work. And so this is 10 years behind, but I think it's going to ramp up really quick, deploy a little AI on these product descriptions. And I think it's going to be the picture. One of the pictures in the article showed them they had like a little product studio where they were like taking pictures, and it's just going to take like the right social media influencer to pick this up and be like, hey, you know what? I'll do some product features. Right, I'll do some live streams and line me up some products, and you're going to pick the top 10 products, and they're going to everyone's going to be like, that kind of stuff is there, and it's going to be whoosh.
And I went real quick and looked at brands and looked at like, yo, if you're interested in getting your kids some Legos, you can go ham on this thing, right? Like some cool Nike swag, like it's all in.
Just make it easy. Make it easy. Well, look, we're trying to make it easy for you to have an amazing day in automotive, to go out there, love people more than you love cars, but you can love the cars too. That's cool. If you haven't got your ASOTU CON tickets, get them, or go to ASOTUCON.com, scroll down, join us on the webinar.